Mindset, The New Psychology of Success by Carol S. Dweck. In a world where talent is often praised above all else, one question quietly reshapes how we understand success. What if success isn't about talent at all? What if it's about mindset, the way we think about our own abilities? This simple but revolutionary idea lies at the heart of mindset. The New Psychology of Success by Carol S. Dweck. Through decades of research, Dweck reveals a truth that changes how we see ourselves, how we raise our children, how we teach, and how we lead. The truth is that the view you adopt for yourself profoundly affects the way you live your life. Carol Dweck, a renowned psychologist from Stanford University, introduces us to two powerful mental frameworks: the fixed mindset and the growth mindset. These two ways of thinking shape every part of who we are, how we learn, how we face challenges, how we respond to failure, and ultimately, how far we go in life. In a fixed mindset, people believe that intelligence and talent are fixed traits, something you are born with and cannot change. They think you either have it or you don't. If you succeed, it means you're smart or talented. If you fail, it means you're not. This mindset feeds the need to constantly prove oneself, to appear perfect, and to avoid situations that might expose weaknesses. People with a fixed mindset fear failure because, to them, failure means being exposed as not good enough. On the other hand, there's the growth mindset, a belief that abilities can be developed through effort, learning, and persistence. People with a growth mindset understand that talent is only the starting point. With hard work, strategies, feedback, and resilience, anyone can improve and reach higher levels of achievement. Failure, in this mindset, isn't proof of lack of intelligence. It's simply a step toward growth. Dweck's message is profound. The way we think about our abilities can shape our destiny. From childhood, many of us are subtly taught to value being smart rather than being curious, to chase success rather than embrace growth. Imagine a child who scores an A on a math test. A parent with a fixed mindset might say, "You're so smart." But a parent with a growth mindset would say, "You worked so hard, and it paid off." The difference seems small, but the impact is huge. The first teaches the child that intelligence is fixed, that being smart is what matters most. The second teaches the child that effort leads to improvement, that learning is what matters most. Over time, this difference determines how a person approaches every challenge in life. Carol Dweck's research began decades ago with young students. She discovered that when they faced difficult problems, children with a fixed mindset gave up quickly, saying things like, "I'm not smart enough." But those with a growth mindset didn't see the problem as a failure. They saw it as a challenge, a chance to stretch their minds. Some even said things like, "I love a challenge," or "I was hoping this would be harder." That moment opened Dweck's eyes to something extraordinary: the power of belief in shaping human potential. As Dweck explored further, she found that this same mindset divide appears everywhere: in education, sports, business, and relationships. In every field, people with a growth mindset outperform those with a fixed mindset, not because they are more talented, but because they see challenges differently. They see effort as a path to mastery, not as a sign of weakness. Consider the world of sports. Dweck uses examples like Michael Jordan, one of the greatest basketball players in history. Early in his career, Jordan was cut from his high school basketball team. Most people would have taken that as proof they weren't good enough. But Jordan didn't quit. Instead, he used that failure as fuel. He trained harder, practiced longer, and developed his skills relentlessly. His growth mindset turned a painful setback into motivation, and it transformed him into a legend. Or think of Tiger Woods, whose rise to greatness was built not just on natural ability, but on countless hours of deliberate practice. Carol Dweck shows that champions are not born. They are made through effort, persistence, and learning. The growth mindset fuels this kind of greatness. In contrast, a fixed mindset can trap even the most gifted individuals. Take the example of athletes who were told they were naturally talented. Many of them, after facing failure or injuries, gave up because they believed their talent had limits. The moment things got hard, they lost confidence. They believed that if success didn't come easily, it wasn't meant for them. This pattern doesn't just exist in sports. It shows up in business and leadership too. Dweck explores how the fixed mindset affects leaders and organizations. Some CEOs operate from a fixed mindset, obsessed with appearing perfect, fearing mistakes, and silencing feedback. They create toxic cultures where people hide problems rather than face them. These companies often collapse under pressure. But leaders with a growth mindset, like Satya Nadella of Microsoft, transform entire organizations by encouraging learning, feedback, and continuous improvement. Nadella famously shifted Microsoft's culture from one of know-it-alls to learn-it-alls. This change reignited innovation and turned the company around. Dweck's lesson is clear. Organizations, like individuals, thrive on growth mindsets. Carol Dweck also examines the mindset of students and teachers. In classrooms, teachers who praise intelligence unintentionally create fixed mindsets. Students start to avoid hard work because they don't want to risk looking dumb. But when teachers praise effort, strategy, and persistence, students become resilient learners. They tackle difficult subjects with enthusiasm, knowing that struggle is part of learning. In one experiment, Dweck's team taught students that the brain is like a muscle. It grows stronger when it faces challenges. This simple lesson changed how the students performed. They began to seek out harder tasks, their grades improved, and their confidence soared. By teaching them about the growth mindset, Dweck didn't just change their performance, she changed their identity as learners. The power of mindset also extends into relationships. In a fixed mindset, people believe that traits like personality, intelligence, or compatibility are fixed. If there's conflict, they assume it means the relationship is broken or that one person isn't the right one. But in a growth mindset, partners see challenges as opportunities to understand each other and to grow together. They don't expect perfection, they expect progress. This approach builds stronger, more resilient connections. Even in parenting, mindset plays a vital role. Parents with a fixed mindset often believe their child's abilities are set from birth. But those with a growth mindset focus on nurturing curiosity, resilience, and persistence. They encourage their children to take risks, learn from mistakes, and celebrate effort rather than results. Dweck reminds us that every time we praise effort, we plant the seeds of growth. Carol Dweck also warns about the false growth mindset. This happens when people say they believe in growth, but still avoid challenges or fail to apply real effort. Growth mindset isn't just about saying, "I can do it." It's about understanding that improvement takes time, learning from feedback, and staying committed even when progress is slow. One of the most important lessons from mindset, the new psychology of success, is that failure is not the opposite of success. It is part of success. People with a fixed mindset avoid failure because it hurts their ego. But people with a growth mindset see failure as data, as feedback. Every setback contains information that can help them improve. Dweck shows that those who embrace failure as a teacher eventually reach far greater heights than those who fear it. In school, work, sports, and life, we often glorify the idea of being gifted or naturally talented. But Carol Dweck's research proves that effort and perseverance are far more powerful. When people focus on learning rather than proving themselves, they open doors to endless growth. The growth mindset allows us to see potential in ourselves and in others, potential that the fixed mindset hides. Carol Dweck's findings also reveal how our self-talk shapes our mindset. When we face a challenge, our inner voice often says things like, "I can't do this," or "I'm not good at this." Dweck encourages us to add one small but powerful word, "yet." Saying, "I can't do this yet," transforms limitation into possibility. That tiny shift in language opens the door to learning. Over the years, Dweck's research has influenced educators, coaches, parents, and leaders across the world. Schools now teach students about neuroplasticity, the brain's ability to grow through effort. Companies use growth mindset principles to build better teams. And countless individuals have discovered that they are capable of far more than they ever believed. In one of the most inspiring parts of the book, Dweck tells the story of John McEnroe, the tennis champion known for his fiery temper. McEnroe's fixed mindset made him blame others for his failures: the court, the referees, the crowd. For years, he refused to accept responsibility for losses. But later, when he began to reflect on his mindset, he realized that true greatness comes from embracing mistakes and learning from them. This transformation illustrates the power of shifting from a fixed to a growth mindset, even after years of being stuck. Dweck's message resonates deeply in today's world, where instant success and perfection are glorified. Social media often shows only the highlights, the victories, the achievements, the perfect images. But behind every success story lies struggle, failure, and relentless effort. The growth mindset reminds us that progress is built through persistence, not perfection. As Carol Dweck writes, "Becoming is better than being." This means that life is not about proving how smart or talented you are. It's about improving who you are. The joy is in the journey of learning, not just the destination of success. So, how can we apply the lessons of mindset, the new psychology of success in our own lives? Dweck offers practical steps. First, become aware of your fixed mindset triggers, moments when you fear failure or avoid challenges. Second, listen to your inner voice and replace negative self-talk with growth-based thinking. Third, focus on effort, strategies, and persistence rather than on talent or results. And finally, celebrate progress, no matter how small. When you adopt a growth mindset, everything changes. Challenges become opportunities. Effort becomes meaningful, criticism becomes feedback, and failure becomes the path to mastery. Dweck's work shows that intelligence, talent, and personality are not fixed traits. They are starting points. What defines us is not where we begin, but how we grow. Every great inventor, athlete, artist, or leader has faced failure. What sets them apart is not natural ability, but the mindset that turns obstacles into fuel for success. In the end, mindset, the new psychology of success, is not just a book about psychology, it's a guide to living a better life. It teaches us that our potential is limitless when we believe in growth. Whether you're a student, a parent, a teacher, an athlete, or a professional, the growth mindset empowers you to keep evolving, to keep learning, and to keep becoming the best version of yourself. Carol Dweck leaves us with a powerful truth. The world does not divide into the talented and the untalented, but into those who believe they can grow and those who do not. The mindset we choose defines the life we live. So, the next time you face a challenge, remember this: you are not failing, you are learning. You're not stuck, you are growing. The power of your mindset can transform not only your success, but your entire life. Because success is not about being the best. It's about becoming better every single day.